If any society is to bloom, it has to build a strong and responsible social order to achieve the objectives that are enshrined in its cultural perspective without any discrimination whatsoever it may be. Then only a person can be said to be a free man and able to achieve the rights, responsibilities and duties, and awake his conscience to protect the rights of himself as well as that of others. In the words of the architect of Constitution, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, any society which recognizes the rights to be exercised freely by men without any discrimination whatsoever may be and help them to lead a dignified life with liberty can be called as a free society from all infirmities. Such a society will certainly produce free men to analyze, examine the veracity and usefulness of every aspect of polity in a critical fashion for its betterment and for all round development. To build such an egalitarian society, as rightly said by Swami Vivekananda, education which can form the characters, strength of mind, sharpening the intellectuality already inherent in every human being is necessary to impart to make every citizen to stand on their own feet. This could be achieved through imparting human right education, which is the composition of these cherished values and promises to shape the beliefs and attitudes that encourage all individuals to uphold the rights of theirs and that of others. It further develops everyone's common responsibilities to establish a problem-free community at all levels without resorting to juridical controversies. Rights-based education prepares men to meet exigencies of the future and to alleviate the intensity of conflicts for better augmentation of the rights that are guaranteed by law. Hence, the international community gave its thrust to impartation of human rights education from all levels as a primary object. After the Second World War, in order to wipe out the tears from every human eye and to bridge the gap between the rich and poor, the nation states adopted the Charter of United Nations, followed by Universal Declaration of Human Rights and a number of other legal instruments guaranteeing the promotion of human rights in every sphere. However, the turn of events in the 70s and 80s and the impact of decolonization have brought in a number of problems such as hunger, mass movement, genocide, racism, torture, human trafficking, terrorism, corruption, discriminative practices on various grounds, abuse of rights of weaker sections, infighting among individuals, degradation of values, morals and cultural perspectives. These and other events led to the international community to reassure their commitment for the promotion and protection of human rights of the individual through World Conference on Human Rights in 1993 at Vienna. Accordingly, the conference highlighted that to establish a conflict-free society and assure the life, liberty and dignity of the individual at all times, education is the only vital apparatus through which the culture of human rights needs to be inculcated. The General Assembly of the United Nations, considering the directive of the member states, declared two spells of decades as the decades for human right education. The first one was between 1995 to 2004 and second one is the present decade, that is 2005 to 2014 as the decade of human rights education for sustainable development. These decade plans drew up a number of action plans to be implemented by the states both at the international and national sphere from the grassroots levels. However, the General Assembly, after a review in 2010, expressing its dissatisfaction over poor record of accomplishment of the states parties in implementing its mandate, finally declared in 2011 that human rights education is a lifelong process which needs to be imparted through education and mass-based programs to make the citizenry of the world to become free, wise men to exercise their rights freely and to lead a life with liberty and dignity. The culture of human rights being part of a socio-economic, cultural and legal parlance, the Government of India in its revised policy of education in 1986 under the leadership of late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi drew up an action plan to impart the philosophical objects of human rights, which a focus on a value-based education. Around the same time, the University Grant Commission drew up a blueprint for the impartation of human rights and duties education in universities and colleges with the objectives. 1. To develop interaction between society and educational institutions. 2. To sensitize the citizens for the norms and values of human rights and duties, and to encourage research activities related to human rights, and to encourage research studies concerning the relationship between human rights and duties and international humanitarian law. Accordingly, it has established a number of centers on human rights and duties education in various universities for propagation of human rights and duties education. However, many of these centers could not be able to achieve as expected for obvious reasons. In this background, the Government of India, in order to discharge its international commitment to promote human rights education, enacted the Human Rights Act in 1993 with a view to establish institutional redressal mechanism and to impart human rights education at all levels of education, including community-based education programs. Accordingly, the national and state human rights commissions were established across the country to achieve the objects of the state. In response to the clarion call of the law, the Maharashtra State Human Rights Commission in August 2001 organized a one-day seminar to consider for the incorporation of human rights education on mass scale, especially through education from primary to university level at the behest of the government and especially Honorable Governor and Chancellor of the University of Pune, His Excellency Sri K. Shankaranarayanan. In order to support the objective of the Maharashtra State Human Rights Commission and to make the state of Maharashtra the first state in the country to take lead in offering human rights and duties education, the University of Pune made a presentation by the Vice Chancellor to introduce the human rights education program compulsorily to all its young pupils in the presence of the high-level dignitaries of the state, which include the Governor, the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister and Education Minister et al. As promised to the government, the University of Pune is the first in the country to introduce the human rights education program to all the students of the University of Pune under the leadership of the former Vice Chancellor Professor R.K. Shevgaonkar in 2011. A high-power committee consisting of professors of various departments of the university was constituted to oversee the implementation of the program under the chairmanship of the Vice Chancellor. I take this opportunity to thank all the members of the committee for their valuable suggestions to make the program a grand success. I also thank Dr. T.S.N. Shastri, the coordinator of this program, who is constantly working hard to oversee the implementation of the program. Basing on the recommendations of the committee, the university introduced 3 courses of 1 credit each. The courses are Introduction to Human Rights and Duties, Human Rights and Vulnerable Groups, Human Rights and Duties in India, Law, Policy, Society and Enforcement Mechanism. The first course is compulsory to all the students, and in the remaining 2, the students are free to choose any one paper. The 2 courses need to be completed by every student of the university in the 2-year span of their master's degree. The university plans to introduce the same program in all its affiliated colleges in a gradual manner. The university plans to offer these programs both in English and Marathi. The Marathi version of the work is in progress. The highlight of the program is it is offered through lectures and books in e-form in an easy format that is understandable, linking with their subjects. The university has launched a separate portal on its main page of the website. The first book in the series was released by His Excellency Sri K. Sankaranarayanan, Honorable Governor of Maharashtra, and the first copies were issued by the Honorable Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, and Higher Education Minister during a function in August 2011. I sincerely thank from the bottom of my heart to the Chancellor and the Government of Maharashtra for their support and encouragement in implementing the program. I am happy that with the help of my colleagues and students of the university, a majority of the students of various departments have successfully completed their first course. In the years to come, we would undertake mass-based program through street plays, posters and seminars and other various ways and means both in English and Marathi. I am extremely happy that the University of Pune is the first in the country to start human rights education in a comprehensive manner as a part of the curriculum to fulfill their legal commitments of international and domestic obligations. In order to orchestrate the future citizens of the polity with the culture of human rights to build a value and norm-oriented society without any inclination towards any kind of one-upmanship. This program being the first of its kind in the country, if any inadequacies are there, I appeal to all concerned to render their suggestions for improvement in the program, if any, to make it a grand success than to be a critic. Thank you one and all.